Hello folks, welcome back to Southern Blessed Homestead. I'm Patty and my sidekick Mac is out of town at the moment, and it's been a while since we've had an update about our garden. Today is June 30th, it's the last day of June, and a lot's been going on as far as the weather. It's raining off and on, actually just enough to keep me from spraying and doing things. Today is Sunday, so I haven't been out in the garden too much. I came out here early this morning before church and just made sure that there wasn't any tomato hornworms or bad damage on anything. Trying to kill a couple little things, little pests before I head to church. And then as I walk out of the garden, as I do every time, I just say, okay, Lord, this is your garden. It's your turn, you take over. Not that he's taking care of it all the time, but I've learned that farming, gardening, homesteading is a lot of trust and faith and hard work. So we can only do so much, and we have to just give it over to the Lord and hope for the best, pray for the best. So where I'm going to take you around and see what's going on with the garden. I did have to cut. We haven't had very many pests too much. I mean, there's shows damage in some areas with mostly beetles and some squash bugs that I've got to kill. They haven't really been on the squash, they've been on my tomato plants for some reason. So let's go see what's up with the garden. Well, my raised beds are showing me what I need to do and what I should have done and what I possibly will be doing next year. I'm learning. Like I said, I have not actually gardened in maybe 5 years. I've had a few plants here and there over the years as I could, but we used to have big huge gardens and farmers markets and stuff, but I'm relearning everything. So these first 4 beds are doing about the best. And I'm thinking it's because of what we put into it. We just put some regular soil that we got from one of the places in town, and I had the pine shavings. Now then, things are growing pretty well in these. I got some tomatillos that are coming on. It's hard for me to see. The birds have been around here, and that's what all this stuff is. I believe they're leaving their blessings, but I think the birds have been also eating the bugs, so I won't get mad at them too much. But down here I have long cucumbers. Yep, I think I have like 4 different kinds of cucumbers in the garden. On this one side of the trellis, I think I have these oriental longs, and over here I had some other kinds. I think they're called munchers. No, market something. Let's see. Let me read my tag. Market More 76 from M.I. Gardener. They all had such good reviews and stuff, and I thought, I haven't grown cucumbers in a while, so I want to see what I like. And I was getting away from just the regular straight 8s. Yeah, they're kind of looking funny, these ones are. But the plant itself is growing up pretty well because, like I said, the weather is good. And it's like a hothouse effect around here. And over here, I know I had some pickling cucumbers on this side. Let's see, Parisian pickling. So they are putting on a little bit of cucumbers right there. And on this side, I think they are called munchers from M.I. Gardener. So we're gonna see. And you could tell, I think the beetles have been having a heyday, and I never see them. They go away really quickly. I think they're little black things, and so I don't really see them. But I think the birds have been perching on liking my trellises because we have bird droppings around. I just noticed that. Oh, here's a big cucumber right here. Oh, I can't wait for cucumbers. And I've got peppers scattered and radishes. These are pepperoncinis. So I've got a couple of them. I have different ones everywhere because I just was throwing a whole bunch of them everywhere. I had so many. So those are California Wonders, and most of these were all planted at the same time in my red solo cups, but they all have different places that they've been put and planted differently times into the ground. I also threw in some oriental yard-long beans. I have one here. Oops, you see with the shadows. I'm not very good with this camera. There's one there, and there's two over here, and they're just coming on. I'm really sad about this. I'm learning that what we put into this bed was, and these other ones were, that cow manure, and I don't think it really liked it because all of these things are just like stagnant. Plus also the mulch that I put on was hardwood mulch, so I'm really not sure, but those are the different variations from the other ones, and the other ones plants are doing well over there, but these are not. They're growing, but slowly. They're like surviving, and that's sad. So, but maybe they'll perk back up. I think some things have been in here. I planted these little mini bells. They have been sitting here for weeks just looking the same. So, and I put fertilizer on them. I've tried all the stuff that I know what to do. I think it's just the soil and stuff. So we've got some squash in here. I put some butternut squash. I think I have three of those. And I was trying to plant some more zucchini, but they're a different kind. They're called rampinage. I don't even know how to say that word. They're kind of a light colored crookneck one, so we'll see. And then my Swiss chard I put in here. There's a couple little ones here and there, and we'll just see what's going on. And then I got my echinacea flowers in here, and I don't even remember what that poor flower over there is. It has been getting eaten up and just pitiful looking ever since I put it in there. Okay, yes, we still have the same pepper plants looking the same pitiful way. Like I said, they're pretty sad. And then I put in some straight yellow squash, straight neck yellow squash, and they came up, but they're sitting there. Yeah, I mean, this is so bad that even the marigolds are not doing well. And I put marigold seeds in here, and they're little tiny marigold plants, but they're stagnant too. So, and it looks like the bugs have found my melon. Yep, my poor melon. It is, actually sweet potato. It's a sweet potato melon. And then over here, I put in some little bush beans, just two little plants, and they're just still kind of stagnant and getting eaten up. And these are some other musky melons. I forgot what the name of them were. I'm terrible. Anyway, they're doing pretty well. They came from the Stivers. They gave us a pack of seeds. And I threw in some, this is a lemon drop hot pepper, and it's trying to come to life. And then I threw in a bunch of dill and chives and stuff in here, but it's all dry. The soil doesn't hold the moisture well enough. I mean, there's little stuff coming in. They were old packs, and I had extra space, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to throw them in there and see what happens. And I threw in some potting mix on top to see if it would hold the moisture in, but it's not doing well. But got my little flowers. We will see. Just one day at a time. I just let it do. And I plant, it seems like when I plant in the regular ground, it does better. These are watermelons, but they're the small watermelons from Baker Creek. I bought some very unusual seeds, and I thought I had a stick thing in here to tell me what it was, but oh, here it is over here. It is the Kaho, K-A-H-O watermelons, and they're I think they get up to like 3 pounds. They're just small yellow watermelons. So they're doing pretty good. I put in some hollyhocks on the other side. And this one, oh, this one is a golden midget. And yeah, I think this hardwood mulch is not good. I'm not gonna do that again. Our local co-op ran out of the pine, and it seems like everybody ran out of the pine, and so I didn't know what to do, so I got that, and I don't think I'm gonna do that again. But anyway, here are the trellis, big old thing that Mac built me for these climbing tomatoes, and they seem to be doing pretty good. They've got some unusual shapes and stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and let them grow. And I've been watching them for pests. I haven't really had very many off of it. I found a couple little tiny worms here and there. I got a geranium down here because I read in a book or online somewhere about putting geraniums near bean plants, and it's supposed to, if the pests eat the geranium, it affects there's some beetles right there. Oh my goodness. Ugh. See, they're too fast for me. Ooh, they're eating my plant. Well, they need to eat the geranium because it said if they ate the geranium, it would mess with their nervous system and knock them out or something. But, oh, I read too many things and then I really forget what I read. So it sounded good, and I thought, well, I like flowers. I got several little geraniums that I saved from Death Row at Walmart. So I put them in pots and put them around. And I do have some pretty good size tomatoes. They do look good, and we'll just see as they ripen how they're doing. Oh, make myself dizzy looking. Yeah. Over here, the Japanese long cucumbers. One is taking off and the other one's kind of stagnant, but they're progressing, so we'll just see how they do. A little bit of progress there. Now my row crops, they're doing very well, and I'm getting nervous because this is about the time the deer start showing up. So I don't have a fence just yet. My mussels are not around. He's busy. Anyway, we've got flowers and we've got pods coming, and these are the southern purple hull peas. And in between we have okra and my sunflowers. Sunflowers are taking off. The okra's right behind them pretty good. And there's another geranium. And my lima beans are doing pretty good too. I wasn't sure what they were doing. They looked like they were trailing, and then so I put up some string, but they didn't really need it. But anyway, I got little pods, and the bugs are eating the lima beans more than anything. I did have some worms that were bothering the other stuff, but I sprayed BT on it once, and that's about all I've been able to do because, like I said, it keeps raining. Just enough to wash everything off and not let me get out here. But these are called cream peas, and I'll show you what those are as soon as we get a harvest of them. They're coming pretty good too. They come in pods just like the purple hull peas, southern peas, but they're a little round. And I got them from an old farmer's market friend. She sold them and she did very well with them and gave me some, and I loved them. The family loved them. They're kind of like make a cream to the water. You add butter to them. They're just really good. I haven't had them in years. So also my rattlesnake pole beans seem to be doing pretty good. They've even got beans on them. I found some beans and actually had one for breakfast this morning. It was just a small, probably about 4 inches, but it was a good bean. It tasted good. And my pepper plants, they're coming along fairly well. Different kinds. And different ones. Look at that. They're cool looking. These are the korbashi, which I think they're a sweet. I do have some hot and sweet kind of mixed in. I'm not really sure. I think most of these are the sweet ones though, or mild, I guess you could say. There's a Marconi peppers with a nasty bug on it. Ah, okay, that I don't usually touch bugs without my gloves. I don't like the bugs. Oh, some of my pods are dropping off. Yeah, it rained a little bit earlier, but I do have some peppers coming on. Yep, these are, oh, I don't even remember what those are. I can't pronounce it. It's called Frariello Napoli. De Napoli. There's some more interesting peppers. More pepperoncinis. And then I have these ones that have a wilt, a disease, and I've got to spray them really bad. I don't know if they'll come back or not. I'm afraid. I don't want them to give it to others, but they look pitiful. Yeah, I got to get out here and do something with those. And then I have basil in between everything, so you can see these huge basil plants, which I haven't harvested anything from because I have plenty otherwhere. I need to top them off. I usually pull off the blossoms so they'll keep bushing out. I love these. I've already gotten some of these. They are a eau de belle pepper, and they're purple. I don't know if you can see them. The lighting is pretty bad. There it is. Yep, there's several of them on there. I've gotten a couple of them off. I don't know how big they're supposed to be, but that plant was loaded and it was heavy, so I just took some off and ate them. Put them in the salad. Here's some more Melrose. These are Melrose Sweet. Melrose Sweet. Then these are the Passia Baggio, which I don't really even see. Oh, there's a big pepper right there. Thought I knew there was a pepper on there. Yep. And the leaf fell off. Oh, okay. And I think these, I'm not sure what these are. I don't have a tag on these. You see them? Some nice peppers. And lemon drop. I was going to see if I can find some green beans and show you. Yeah, here we have some. Yeah, my rattlesnake pole beans. Whoop. Yep. They're coming on. You see them hanging there. Oh, look, a whole bunch of them. Oh, yummy. Boy. Okay. I'm going to have a batch in the morning. Those are really ready. I like to get them about this size. They can get really big and you can, oops, camera on the right way. People harvest them at different times, but I kind of like them like this, or over here like thin ones. I like to just saute them mostly, but oh, there's another, ugh, stink bug, sorry, gross. Okay, yes, the bugs are getting me. Okay, tomato plants. White cherry, we've had several of them. These already look like, yep, they're ready to come off. Yeah, they're kind of wilty because I need to do some stuff with them. There's another thing with these blue buckets that we cut. They would work really good for pepper plants, I believe. But tomato plants, I don't think I'll ever do that again, especially with these prolific cherry tomatoes. I thought they'd be safe and stuff, but you have to water them once a day, and then with the hot summer coming, hotter and hotter, I'm going to be out here twice a day probably watering these things. So I have California Wonder peppers in between too, and these are also some other kind of, I think these were also called the eau de belle, but they're not purple. They're yellow. I don't know if you see them. Oh, there it is. Still have squash coming on. But my squash plants are pretty pitiful. Oh, I do have some watermelons coming too. They're called Orangelos. I have 2 watermelon plants. They're in the ground, but I put this blue ring around them to protect them from the dogs coming and laying on them and stuff. They like to come in the garden and just lay around with me sometimes, and so I didn't want them to lay on them. So, watermelon plants are doing really well so far. Yep. Sun shining after the quick little rain. Do my chocolate pears. I've had a couple of those, so there's not enough to really do a whole lot, but just get a taste here and there. And I'm worried about blossom end rot. You don't see, got one there. And some discoloration a little bit, so I need to take some care. Oh, looky there. Ooh. You see there, the big bell pepper. Oh, I'll be picking that a little soon. California wonder. They hide underneath these leaves, and the grasshoppers have also been in the garden. They're the ones, I've seen them hop around. They're eating the leaf like that. That's from grasshoppers. And they're pretty fast. And since I'm trying to do this organically, I'm trying not to spray. I've seen the good bugs out here, and the birds have been out here, and so they've been helping me. So little damage, I'm letting go just a tiny bit so I don't have to spray. But I come out here once or twice a day. If I'm not working out here, I do. But when I'm working, watching my grandson and my job, that cleaning houses, that I only get to come out here early in the morning and after in the afternoon. So I do what I can, and that's all we can do. And there's another zucchini. The leaves look pretty good, but I don't think I'll put these in these pots again either. I think the borers have gotten to it, but it's still hanging on. But I don't think it's producing anything over there. And I've got chocolate covered. No, they're not chocolate covered. Chocolate. Black cherry. Okay, they're called black cherry. I have some chocolate tomatoes too. That's what they're. I'm thinking of chocolate. And Mac put some taller posts up for me, but I haven't been able to string the tomatoes up to it just yet. I gotta do some more. They're hanging over, getting big. I've got the yellow pears coming on little by little, and I'm shaking, sorry. I have the shakes. So I don't have Mac took the, what do you call that wand thing that you hold your camera with? Selfie stick. He took it with him. Yep. So, little bits. And the in-ground regular tomatoes are doing pretty good. They've all got good tomatoes on them. All the different kinds that I have, except for I noticed yesterday that one got the wilt disease or something. It looks like someone had just plucked it up, and it is not. So I've never had this happen before, but I'm guessing it's the tomato wilt. Is that what they call tomato wilt? I don't know. I mean, I gardened for 10-15 years and I don't remember this. Of course, that doesn't mean anything. I forget what happened yesterday. But I got tomatoes on there, so I think I'm gonna have green tomatoes and just pluck that plant up before I possibly give it to anything else. But I don't know if it passes it on or not. Lots of tomatoes here and there, and some tomato damage because of it raining off and on. Yep, I tried to put some calcium on plants before it rains too. When it's raining really hard, side dress it with a little bit of calcium in bone meal and stuff, and fertilizer, and it works pretty much. Yep, lots of tomatoes. So here I am every day staring at the lovely green tomatoes, waiting. I even had to Google, how long does it take before they turn red? Google says 20 to 30 days. So we are waiting and waiting and waiting for things to be right, for them to start turning. And some of them are. You can tell they're turning tiny colors. See? A little bit of color to it. Yep. We've had like one or two here and there. Trying to make my way through the bushy bush of tomato plants. But all in all, I'm doing pretty good. Mac put these extra tall posts, which hopefully, Lord, they do not grow that tall because I can't reach. I have to put a permanent ladder out here. Look at these posts he put up. He said he's going to come back and cut them shorter, but I don't know. That's so funny. Another thing is I'm doing stringing tomatoes the way I was taught here by the extension office and local farmers that taught us how to do stuff when we used to do farmers market. And it worked well for mostly the determinate because they don't get that big. These indeterminates, it's not working too well, so I'm going to find a different way. I've been watching different people and how they do it. I don't know if I can afford all the cattle panels to make these big rows of tomatoes that we need for salsa and stuff for family and friends, but I've seen different methods of how to do it differently. There's some damage. Ew. I'm not sure. That looks like a worm is in there. No, I don't know. These odd looking tomato plants. These are the pink oxheart, which I've already got one big one off, which turned pretty much, but the weather was fixing to take a really rain, so I went ahead and picked it. Heavy rain, and we had some of these, but see how they've split because of the different off and on rain. It'll downpour and drench everything, then it'll be 90 degrees to 100 degrees out here per day, and then it'll do that over and over again, and it's hard to keep up with stuff when it does that. But these are Elliot's tomatoes is what I'm going to start calling them. They're like variegated and they turn yellow, but they're about as big as a ping pong ball, and he loves them. He comes out here and just can't wait. I have to hold him back and teach him what yellow. My grandson, Elliot, he's 2.5, and I watch him and bring him down here and try to take him in the garden with me. But anyway, but he will come over and grab those tomatoes and eat them, but I have to hold him back and tell him he can't eat the green ones. Real big tomato. Look at that big old tomato. Let me see if I can look at the tag and see what this is. This is Brandywine Black. And I got several of them. They're looking good. Then, these are some oblong ones that are purple Russians, is what it says. I was thinking the purple Russian was round. That's getting some color to it, but I can tell I think the bugs have been on it too. So, all the different kinds. I have San Marzon ones, which are like a paste tomato, large paste tomato. I have some Romas in here, some Amos Coleys, and they're all paste tomatoes. Amish paste are in here somewhere too. And these are Rio Grande or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, Rio Grande paste tomatoes. So I like the paste tomatoes because I like to make salsa and sauces up. Mostly what I did last time was I had a bunch of tomatoes and peppers, so I just processed them together, just chunked up, and then made them into whatever I wanted to, like salsas or spaghetti sauce. When I brought them out of the pantry and threw a meal together. So, oops, I'm showing you the path. I'm not watching what I'm doing. Okay, there it is. My garden, such as it is, it's growing well, considering. I'm thankful. The Lord is blessed. I've got all these beautiful sunflowers. These were the ones from this just Walmart, the box store packages. I don't remember what brand they were, but they were called the Mammoths. The ones I have in the middle by the beans are the Mammoth and Titans from Baker Creek, and they're supposed to be even bigger. But I don't know. This has got the seeds in it, I can tell. They've gotten bigger, taller. I remember my oldest daughter, she loved the sunflowers. She was my sunflower girl. She's 33 right now, but when she was about 13 and 14, she planted sunflowers, and she's taller than I am. So she's like, they were way taller than her. We have a picture of her with her sunflower. Good memories. Yep, so these are way taller than me. And if I knew how to work this camera, I would show you with me next to it, but I can't do that. Maybe next view when Mac's around, we can do that. But as you can see, I'm angling this. I don't know if you can tell, I'm angling it up because it's way taller than I am. I'm only about 5'2", and that looks like it's even taller than Mac. So he's 6 foot. So I think that one's over 6 foot. We have these little ones. They didn't get very big. Yep, the grass is growing really bad, and my riding lawnmower broke right before Mac left. He didn't have time to fix it, so I'm getting my son and his friends to hopefully come over and help me. Here's Bo, faithful Bo, even though it's hot, comes out and sits with me. He's a stinker, but he is faithful to me. I feel guarded by him. This is my yard. Such a mess. We were trying to make a perimeter to put in a fence around the garden, but we hadn't got there just yet. One step at a time. But here we go. There it is. Garden update of the majority of the garden. The big part of it. I have a little stuff over there by my greenhouse that still needs to be taken care of, but nothing much. There we go. All right, y'all. Hope you have a blessed day. Thanks for stopping by.